Keep it up, 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 keep it up.
So everyone was really worried about the February 1st changes to Google and Yahoo email deliverability based on your authentication. You might be thinking, oh, I can still send emails. Everything looks good right now because you're past February 1st. But actually in April, that's when you're going to see more of an impact happening if you haven't made those changes yet. I'm here at my desk because we're going to go ahead and get into this video. I'm going to show you the simple Shopify settings and Klaviyo settings that you really need to have in place. Let's get into it. We're going to start in our Shopify settings, and you're going to go to your notifications, and in notifications, find the link that says Authenticate Your Domain. Basically, if you don't do this, your recipients are going to see a junky looking email address, even though it does say Shopify in it. So click on Authenticate Your Domain, and it's going to generate your codes for you, essentially, that you need to put in your GoDaddy or your Namecheap, wherever your domain is hosted. So this requires getting into the DNS records of wherever your domain was purchased. So for me, that is GoDaddy. And you're going to use those codes that Shopify gave you, and you're going to create new records. This is going to be a similar process when we get to the Klaviyo settings. So go ahead and create new record and choose CNAME just as it's listed over in Shopify. And you can copy and paste the codes that it's giving you into first the name section and then the value section, and then click save. So GoDaddy is actually making me verify every time I create a new record. So it's actually sending a code to my phone number, and I have to enter that in. This process is going to be repeated for each of the 4 records that Shopify gives you. When you do this with Klaviyo, you will also have several records to input, and Klaviyo will give you similar codes and tell you exactly how to input this into your DNS records. After you've entered your last record, you can go back to the Shopify panel and click on Authenticate Domain, and it will be in the status of pending at this point. And if anything doesn't get set up when you come back to look at your sender email section of your Shopify settings, you will want to go and make sure you copy and pasted those details incorrectly. The second step of this is going to take place in your DNS records again, and you're going to add a TXT record. This is going to set up your DMARC records in your DNS. Let's go into Klaviyo, and it's going to be a very similar process. When you go into Klaviyo, go to your settings, email, and then domains. Once you're in domains, you can see here that this one is already verified. You are going to copy each record type and input it into the DNS section of your domain. So this is what it will look like when it's verified. You will follow a sequence of steps, choosing your domain provider, and it will give you the steps and correct records to put into the DNS section of your domain. Once you follow those steps, you'll also go into pending for a short period of time. And then once that has gone through, it will look active just like it does here. Then within Klaviyo, what you want to do is make sure your default sender email address now is branded. So in this example, if you have, for example, shop@gmail.com, you want to make sure that the default sender email address is coming from your domain as well. So my website is shops@convert.com. So I want the email address to come from shop@shops.convert.com. So once you correct that in your default sender email address, you will need to apply that to all of your campaigns and all of your flows, and that would be the best practice at this point. So confirm those choices and make sure that you have saved the default sender email address, and that is part of the friendly email address. Those are some basic steps for making sure you are within compliance for the new Google and Yahoo changes to email deliverability. And all of this has to do with something called authentication, which are the steps that I just showed you how to do. A lot of people are talking about how to do this within Klaviyo, but if you're using Shopify, Shopify is sending those transactional emails that most people still have active in their account, whether they use Klaviyo or another email service provider. This is a step that you want to take so that that the email coming from Shopify looks good and branded to your store. If you don't take care of these settings within Shopify, the email address for those Shopify specific transactional messages is not going to look very recognizable, and it's not branded to your store. If you'd like to learn more about Klaviyo and follow along with these videos, you can use my link that I've included in the description here, and check out my email marketing resources over in shopsthatconvert.com. That's it for Shops That Convert, the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.